It's Wednesday. We've got election results and another potential sign of momentum for Democrats. In Miami's mayoral runoff, Democrat Aileen Higgins defeated Republican Emilio Gonzalez by nearly 20 points. And it's the first time in nearly 30 years the city has elected a Democrat. Higgins ran a campaign focused on exactly what you heard the president talking about, affordability and criticism of President Trump, who endorsed Gonzalez. Joining me now for more on that and what Higgins' victory might mean for the midterms, NBC's Steve Kornacki. Steve, thanks so much for being here. So this comes on the heels of a successful election season for Democrats. How much should folks be reading into what happened in Miami?
Yeah, normally we talk about mayoral elections and not necessarily, being a bit separate from national partisan politics. I will say this race in Miami, and we're talking here about, remember, this is the city of Miami, about 500,000 people. There's also Miami-Dade County that we talk about a lot. That's much larger, takes in more area, more people. But this is the actual city of Miami, about 500,000 people in South Florida. And this one took on more of a partisan cast, this race did. I think it was shaped more by national political attitudes, by the national political atmosphere, and by the national parties themselves than we've typically seen in Miami mayoral elections in the past and in mayoral elections across the country in general. So, yes, you have the Democratic candidate winning here in Miami by nearly 20 points, a 19-point margin. One of the reasons I think folks nationally then wanted to look at this when this race became a bit nationalized was the demographics of Miami. You're talking about a city that's nearly three-quarters Hispanic, a lot of Cuban Americans, but folks also with backgrounds from Central, South America, a lot of different countries of origin as well. This was kind of the epicenter of Donald Trump's big gains, big inroads with Hispanic voters starting in the 2020 election. So put in perspective what you have in this mayoral election, a 19-point Democratic margin here. More recently, that's a big change from last year. This was the city, again, not the county, but the city of Miami last year voted for Kamala Harris by a point. So that's an 18-point shift toward the Democrats from last year's presidential election. We saw as well Ron DeSantis when he got reelected governor in 2022. Again, it was pretty much dead even in the city of Miami. Now, again, big Democratic win. So put that 19-point margin. That's more in line with 2020. Joe Biden won Miami by 19. That's what we saw last night. And again,
so even if you start to look at these numbers or you start to put things in perspective, what you'll realize is that most major cities, even with a city like Miami, in which a lot of people, again, I think that he described it perfectly, is that Miami-Dade is a much bigger slice of the pie than Miami itself. It was a relatively small turnout for how large the city is. And then also on top of that, most cities usually vote Democrat over a period of time.
It's Wednesday. We've got election results and another potential sign of momentum for Democrats. In Miami's mayoral runoff, Democrat Aileen Higgins defeated Republican Emilio Gonzalez by nearly 20 points. And it's the first time